do it the usual way.
Okay. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Can you Google it maybe? Because that's how I get a lot of stuff from, just Googling YouTube videos and stuff like that. Learning that way, so.
Yeah, let's go. Ed, we interviewed the last day.
See what I find.
Yes.
I mean, oh my goodness.
They're all
this is-
tomatoes and peaches, they're all fresh. I got my son's friend.
Yeah.
Owns
It's about 4 yards from
Great.
Awesome. Oh, no, one was Leesburg, one was Ashburn.
What are you gonna give this?
I'm trying to check on this. We did the next time.
Oh, wow.
Who's our timer?
It's still been done.
Yeah.
I don't know, that would be as far as
Lee was timer.
Lee.
I don't know about anybody else, but when you stop,
Yeah.
the rhythm, once you fall out of the rhythm. Okay, I just want to know.
It goes away, yeah.
We're
Well, we'll have a seat here or wherever you want to sit.
Sure.
I got wrong rhythm all right, so they're done.
Are you gonna do speeches today too?
Yes, we're gonna have one speech.
One speech and one improv?
Yes, one improv session, yeah.
Improv
We
session.
work on like spontaneous speaking in a fun way.
Beautiful. Everybody gets to participate? Even better. As long as you don't count my O's, you're all right.
Uh-oh. We won't, we'll let you slide. You're visiting, so we'll let you slide.
I wasn't going to be
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Humor Mill Open House. This is an modified agenda from our regular meetings, so you get to enjoy refreshments and snacks and all the other inspiring conversations that happen between our speeches and our improv and whatever else we have planned for today. I'm Teresa McCoy, and I'm the current president. I would like to acknowledge our guests. So, would our guests please raise your hands? Can you each, we'll go one at a time, just your name and your interest in being here, why you chose to be here tonight.
I'm Linda. I'm Lee's mom. That's my interest in being.
Oh, welcome.
Yes.
Well, I'll make sure people see me when I'm talking.
Okay.
So I'm Marcia, and I came here tonight because it seemed like the thing to do.
Welcome. Rob?
Hi, I'm Rob, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm looking for work in counseling and teaching, and I had 3 interviews the last 4 days, and I coach 60 soccer teams.
Wow. Nice. All right. Welcome, everybody. This table, thank you.
Sure. My name is Lincoln. I'm from the land of Lincoln, and I'm looking for cybersecurity positions.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm Thomas. I'm the struggling research and development scientist among us. Just thought I'd go check out. I've not sat through the other Toastmasters, but not sat through the Humor Mill, so figured I'd give it a shot.
Well, thank you. Welcome. It's always good to come back repeatedly because it's never the same meeting twice. Today, we have, Bob is going to give us our word of the day.
The word of the day is a unique one, Baroque. Came from that kind of style of music, but it took on new meaning. But it means ornate or overly done, such as You walk into a bathroom, and it looks better than any other room in the house. The decorations, colored tiles, colored lights. And it's the smallest room too. You want to say, boy, this is really Baroque. So when you hear it, everybody likes to go, ta-la. But when you have a prepared speaker going, otherwise you could throw them off track.
Thank you, Bob.
Baroque, overly done, which is not what she's wearing tonight.
Absolutely not. So, what does it mean when you're Baroque?
It means you're broke.
Baroque.
It means you're out of Monet. Okay. So, we're going to move right into introducing our different positions for this evening. We have our improv master, Crystal McCain, our general evaluator, Bob Wilson. Ooh, reminds me, silence your cell phones, please. There we go. Our speech evaluator number 1 is Juan Lee. And our grammarian, hog counter, Bob Wilbur. Our timer, Lee Proctor. And that brings us forth to our speaker number 1. It is with extreme pleasure that I get to introduce John Wilhelm, who was our immediate past president. And this is his 10th speech. And it's titled, "The Benefits I've Gotten from Toastmaster."
Madam Toastmasters, members of Humor Mill, and distinguished guests. Today I'm going to talk to you about the benefits I've derived from being in Toastmasters. Now typically when we talk about the benefits we get from Toastmasters, we focus on 2 areas. We talk about improving your communication skills and improving your leadership skills, because those are the 2 tracks that we have in Toastmasters. But my job here today, by the way, today is a very happy day for me. Speech number 10, that means after today, I'm going to be deemed a competent communicator.
All right.
So, so, what does that mean to be a competent communicator? And how did I get here? Well, it's been a long journey, let me tell you, but it's been a rewarding one. And today I want to talk to you about a little bit about the benefits that I've gotten, but more importantly, by the way, are we recording this? Okay. Oh.
Walk in front of Bob.
Okay. So, going back, oh my goodness, I lost my foot. All right, so going back to what the benefits I've gotten out of Toastmasters. And again, my job in speech number 10 is to inspire you. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do to inspire a group of people? I said, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that? And I decided it's not so much what I say today, but rather how I say it. And here are the things I want you to focus on. Am I nervous or am I enjoying myself? Because let me tell you, when my journey started, I was grabbing onto this for dear life. I had a crack in my voice, and I was totally freaked out after the introduction because she stole 40% of my speech. And I said, oh no, I'm going to have to engage in improv on the spot. And that's kind of dumping into the deep end of things, but that's the way I started my journey. And what happened is I survived it. And you're like, wow. And you might think, wow, is that an accomplishment? For me it was, because I was really shy. couldn't even imagine getting in front of a group of people and giving a speech. Now, how many in this room are like that right now? That the idea of getting in front of a group of people and giving a speech is kind of intimidating. Anybody? A couple? Oh, was that a yes or no?
You never get rid of it.
Oh, yes,
I said the 50-50.
Oh, 50-50,
It's always
okay.
there.
I know you're not.
Oh, honey, it's always there, always. But
No
you gotta
way.
control it.
No way, I don't believe it. One of the best speakers
It's
I
the
know.
truth.
All right.
I'm always broken because I imagine people in their underwear when I'm speaking.
I'm not going to do that today.
So you know they're a size too small, don't you?
All right. So can you imagine people, does it work for you?
Let's not go there.
I mean, I just got to know if it works. Does it work for you?
I was looking to, nobody clapped for my word of the day.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. So, this is improv at its best, by the way. I was not expecting someone to say that. In all the times I practiced this speech this past week, not a single time did someone say, I picture people in their underwear.
But I have heard that recommended before.
I have too. I think that would make me a little bit nervous, but it is kind of making me crack up a little bit, actually. By the way, I'm not pitching anybody in their underwear, just to be clear about that. Except maybe this guy right here.
That's okay. I'll take it.
All right. Oh my God. I'm so off target. Okay, so let's go back to the benefits that I've derived from being in Toastmasters. Oh, another show of hands. How many people here are in transition looking for a new job? A few. Okay. My first example, first benefit I got from being in Toastmasters, I'm going to share an example. And the example is a question that I received twice. Once before I joined Toastmasters and once after I joined Toastmasters. All right, I'm going to go over. All right, so before I joined Toastmasters, I was asked, so how are you spending your time? And I said, well, as you know, I'm in transition, so I'm searching the job boards, I'm looking for opportunities for me to add value to companies, and then I'm customizing my resume so that I'm able to allow the person reviewing the resume to use their time efficiently. And then the guy said, what else? And I said, well, I'm treating my job search as a full-time job. And he said, okay. Now, I did not get a job with that company. All right. Now let's compare that to how I answered it after joining Toastmasters. I was asked the exact same question. So, Mr. Wilhelm, how are you spending your time? And I said, well, I'm using this opportunity to improve myself. You don't get many opportunities like this. So I've joined Toastmasters, and I jumped in the deep end. I joined, and I agreed to be the president of a brand new Toastmasters club. And so right now, this past week, I spent my time working on a vision statement for the club. And in a couple of days, I'm going to be meeting with a group of 7 people who are my fellow members, officers, and we're going to discuss what we want this club to be like. And here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to recommend that this is a club where people designed to help people shorten the amount of time that they spend in transition, but more importantly, an opportunity for them to have fun. Those are the 2 criteria that I'm going to recommend. He says, oh, that's pretty good. What else? And I said, well, after that, we're going to work on our club success plan, because we've got to build out a whole infrastructure. We have nothing in place. We can't, take in money to, when people want to join. I said, we have nothing. We're going to have to start from the very beginning. He said, that's very interesting. Well, that was my answer, and I got a job that time. Yeah. He was impressed. Now let's think about how the first person thought about me. Probably said, wow, this is a guy who's spent 7 months doing an unsuccessful technique and he continues to do it. And he thinks he's going to get a job that way? What is he going to bring to the table for me? Nothing. Now, what did the second person say? The second person said, wow, here's a guy who's trying to improve himself. He's going out there addressing his weaknesses head on, and he's helping others at the same time. That was the image. And like I said, I got that job. Was it the perfect job? It wasn't the perfect job, but it was an important job because what it gave, when I say it wasn't the perfect job, it was about a 2-hour commute in the mornings. So it wasn't what I wanted to do long term, but it gave me the experience I needed to land my current job, where I'm very happy. So that was, so when you're in this transition period, I want you not to think of, I need to find the perfect job, but to think of, I need to find a job that's going to help me out. And that's one of the things I learned from Toastmasters. It's never going to be perfect. But what you need to do is just keep moving forward. Keep going forward. And that's one of the big lessons I've learned from Toastmasters. Keep moving forward. Now, what's another benefit I've gotten from Toastmasters? And again, typically we hear leadership and communication. Well, networking. I never realized how good an opportunity Toastmasters would be for networking. Now, obviously as president, I'm the immediate past president, by the way, of Humor Mill, I got to meet not only all the new members, but I got to meet all the area presidents in the area, and we would all get together and talk about our strategies and how we were going to make our club successful. So I got to network with all those people, and guess what? They all had jobs. So they were people who could actually help me find a job. Then I was able to meet people like my advisor, Paula Green, who's still a good friend. She gave me advice on how to improve myself, not only as a speaker, but as a president. And so that was the second benefit I got, was all the networking opportunities. And I didn't even bring in going to the leadership training, which, by the way, is open to anybody in Toastmasters. You don't have to be an officer to go to the training. This is kind of interesting. There's no middle. You get to meet, you get to go out there and you get to meet people. And again, all these people have jobs, and they're people who understand your experience, so you have a connection with those people. And that's really important when you're networking. So the second benefit I got, again, was the networking opportunities. What's a third benefit I got? The friendships. I wasn't expecting this. It wasn't in any of the leadership or in any of the literature that I would get, meet new friends. But all the officers from my the time I served as president, they become very good friends of mine because we were working together for a common goal. I can go to any of them now with a question, and I know I'm going to get my call returned. So those are three primary benefits that I've gotten from Toastmasters. Now I want, again, anybody inspired, I'm not seeing inspiration here. But what I want you to realize is that this works, this program works. Again, 1 year ago, or a little bit over a year ago when I was here, I was grabbing onto this. I had a crack in my voice. I wasn't smiling at all. If I had any hand gestures, I'm sure that it was more like that, And slowly, I got better and better and better. Now, am I perfect? No. But if you look at where I came from, you would be astounded. And I noticed that Joe, who was my first evaluator, isn't here. I'm a little bit sad to see that he couldn't make it today. But he would be the one person to say, wow, no crack in his voice, he's smiling, he's actually enjoying himself. And that's what I want. That's what I have a vision for the club. An opportunity to enjoy ourselves. Now, you're not just going to, it's not just going to happen. What do you have to do? Here's some recommendations I have to get the most out of your Toastmasters experience. In the manual, which Warren is writing on, I'm going to steal just for a minute. All nice things. All right. I told you, have fun. In the manual, they give you a description of each speech, what your objectives are. And I want you to read that multiple times. If you notice, I highlighted all the important things so that I would know what I'm trying to accomplish in my speech. Now, another tip I want to give you guys is when you join and you start giving your speeches, you say, how can I be a competent communicator with only 10 speeches? Well, I want you to practice each speech at least 10 times. So that when you're at this point, it isn't speech 10, it's speech 110. And I guarantee you, at speech 110, you're not going to have that crack in your voice. You're not going to be nervous. You're actually going to enjoy yourself. You're going to be cracking jokes. And more important, yeah, seriously. And you're going to have a lot more fun in your experience. Now, again, you're only going to get into it you're only going to get out of Toastmasters what you put into it. But if you're willing to put a lot into it, you're going to get a lot out of it. Madam Toastmasters, please be seated. I'm going over. I told you can have fun, right? And I really, honestly, I missed this. This was the hardest thing. Because if people weren't paying attention, you could go knock them on the head. Yeah. All right. So, no, actually, that is the end of my speech. I do have a question for anybody. Is there anyone here who's considering joining Toastmasters? We've had some visitors, but are you current members or are you thinking about joining? Current members?
Current member of another club.
Of another club, yes. Anybody in that category? You're a current member? What club are you in?
You two can speak.
You two can speak.
Oh, you two can speak, and where's that?
We stay, Raytheon.
Raytheon.
Oh, Raytheon, okay. Yeah.
Talk to me later, ma'am. Talk to me later.
Is there anybody who's new, who's a visitor, who's not currently in a club? A Toastmasters club? You're not. I'm picturing you in your underwear. You know that, right?
See, how many speeches does it take to become a quote Toastmaster?
A competent communicator is 10 speeches.
So you just become a Toastmaster with the completion of your 10 speeches?
Oh, a Toastmaster?
Yes.
Oh, one, your icebreaker.
Oh.
Your icebreaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you start the process with, in the first speech is your icebreaker, where you talk about yourself. Now, the good thing, and what's really great in there, is it's an opportunity for you to tell the people in the audience, your line of work and what you're looking for, so that they can, that's your first form of networking in this group. Gives you an opportunity to let people know what kind of work you're looking for, and gives you an opportunity to talk with people afterwards, because you were the speaker that night who gave their icebreaker. And at the end of the speech, everybody will stand up and applaud. Now, I was expecting confetti to come down at the end of this, but I'm not seeing where it's going to come from. But yeah, so the icebreaker is going to be your first speech, and you'll be. Now, what is your purpose for coming here tonight? I mean, I know Teresa asked that.
Well, your wonderful membership coordinator over here said there was an open house and some free food and some good talk and discussion, and I thought I'd sit in over here.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is a true story. When I was thinking about coming here, she didn't promise me food.
It's true.
It's true, she didn't. But what she did do was she stood up in front of that big group of people and made an announcement that there was going to be an open house for a new club, a new Toastmasters club. And when I was sitting in the audience, I said, you know, that's the missing piece for me. If I could do that, my life is going to be better. I'm going to be able to take advantage of opportunities. And I said, right then and there, I was inspired to join Toastmasters. And then I came, and they made me do improv, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, okay, but I survived. And you will survive. It's actually the most fun part of the club meetings. So, but what would be your, the free food, really, that's the only reason you come over? Or are you thinking about joining?
Oh, that I came here tonight, yes.
Okay. What I want everybody to do to get the most out of Toastmasters is to come up with what is going to mean, what is success going to mean for me? And in my case, success was being able to get up in front of a group of people and not have a crack in my voice and not be so nervous that I was afraid that I was going to lose it all. Seriously. That's what, and even before the speech, I didn't eat beforehand. But and so it's been a long way. You're my inspiration. Yeah. So, but meet with the president and the vice president of education and come up with a plan that what you want to accomplish. And for me, it was being able to talk in front of a group of people. Now I'm a little verbose and I run over. I see this, I've been red for a long time. I don't care, it's my party and I'm going to cry. All right. No, I thank you for sharing. I still can't get you. By the way, he's wearing red underwear with pink hearts on.
Oh, right you are.
All right. If anybody has any questions afterwards about Toastmasters, please feel free to come up and ask me questions about what I've gotten, the other benefit. But again, the biggest benefit I got out of Toastmasters was it provides opportunities to speak at a job interview and give them something substantive that's current. Because at that point, when I got my job, I had been unemployed for over a year, and I was starting to really wig out. So it is possible to get a job if you've been unemployed for a long time. But you got to bring something to the table, and that's what Toastmasters did for me. It gave me the opportunity to show that I still had game. So, all right, Madam Toastmasters.
I'll do that at the end. You may keep hold of it for now. Well, that was very inspiring. And actually, it was one of his speeches that inspired me to finally become a member. And then
my promises and the lies.
and then after that, it was, oh, how about president? And I'm like, really? Okay. We'll have a vote, and I was really hoping the other person would win, but here I am.
It's a landslide.
So it is what it is. So if I seem nervous, for those who are familiar, there's a reason why. I hope by my 10, I'm out there just as confident and comfortable, and don't run over as far.
Well, what I will say is it's really fun for me to come back and see you at this stage, because I remember what it was like. And I'm going to come back in 8 months, and it's going to be a totally different you. And you might not believe it right now, but speaking is a skill that you get better at as you practice. And the more practice you get, the more ready. See, the one thing you will notice if you were really observant, I wasn't holding my hands hands like this. Yeah. I wasn't holding them like this. So, but you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there.
Yeah.
But it's because people give you feedback. That's the other part about the speech. I'm gonna read Juan's evaluation. She's gonna say, John, here's what you can do. And it's a journey. And the speech, even though I've done 10, it's just the beginning of my journey. I'm gonna have other speeches. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. And sorry, we did not have the Baroque fanfare you were looking for. Okay. Well,
Wrong
one
time
of-
period.
One of the traits about this Toastmaster Club is it's improv versus table talks. We are doing improv,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because this is an open house, this is a non-traditional meeting. That's why we allowed him to go over. He needed to take up all 3 speakers' time frames.
That's not true. I promised that I would keep it to 10 by live.
That's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay. All right, so our improv master, Crystal, is going to take over at this point.
Thank you, Matt. Good evening and welcome. My name is Crystal McKee, and I'm your improv master for tonight. So in case you're kind of new and wondering what improv is, it's okay. We're not going to do anything to you. What we like to do is work on our spontaneous speaking skills while having fun. So that way, when you have to speak in front of a meeting at work, or if you're doing a Q&A session in front of a big audience, you'll just be more comfortable, more comfortable with yourself and in your skin, like John. Because I remember his first speech, and he has come quite a long way, and he's doing much better now. He's very confident. He even did put quite a few jokes in. You're happening over there, so good job.
I hate to steal spotlight, but
No.
I love it. No.
Never.
One Crystal evaluated one of my speeches, and she said, John, you need to smile more. And I still remember, she said, if you have to, talk about either your son or your bunny. And you're going to, because you always smile when you talk about that.
Yes.
But the thing is, you're going to get tips on how to improve that really help.
Yes, thank you. And when we do the,
You're my inspiration.
oh, thank you, John. Thank you. Oh, I'm touched. When we do our evaluations, they're meant to help us improve. So we, add little things like that so we can get better speaking before a crowd. So the improv session, tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to have a little bit of fun in our improv, which is just practicing spontaneous speaking. So in a moment, we're all going to come up and form a big circle. We'll all get a chance to speak, but don't worry, just relax. We're just going to have fun and just let our brains just go. So you don't have to worry about thinking or anything like that. And we're just going to do that for a few minutes, and then the second half of our improv session, we're going to do kind of a mini table topics. Table topics is another way that we work on our spontaneous speaking. And we did something last week where we did exercises where we spoke for a minute or two. We broke into pairs and spoke for a minute or two. Again, just to practice forming your thoughts and speaking on the fly. So we're going to do that in the second half. So if everyone would please come on up, and we'll form a circle right here in the middle. Okay. Like we're all just gonna run over there. Yes, okay, yeah. Okay, there we go. And since we have John here tonight, we're going to do the warm-up exercise.
Okay.
So why don't we just start? We're just going to go around the circle, and we're just going to start by saying our name. So Crystal, I'm going to go this way.
Bob.
John Wilhelm.
Teresa.
Lee Proctor?
One.
Lee's mom.
Judy. Edie.
Destiny.
Lincoln. Bob.
All right, very good. And so next what we're going to do is just kind of warm up, because most of us been sitting in traffic and had a hard day at work, so we'll just loosen up. John might do push-ups for us, I don't know.
I will do.
He's getting ready. He does the push-ups to really just get warmed up. So, oh my goodness, now he's at That's okay, that was great. Add a little clap to it, that's great. So now that we're all warmed up, we're just going to go around the circle, and we're going to say one word about anything just to let our minds go. So you don't really have to think, just whatever comes. So I'll start with rainbow, and Bob will go to the right this time.
Space.
Dope.
Dog.
iced tea.
Flower? Fitness.
Holiday.
3-year-old.
Underwear.
Good job. Whatever comes to mind, that's fine. So next we're going to say just one word about stormy weather, anything related to stormy weather. And Judy, would you like to start us off? We'll go to the right.
Rain.
Yes. Say anything about stormy weather. We'll go to the right, please, Mom.
Sleepy.
Okay, that's good. Good job.
Power outage.
All right.
Lightning.
Candles.
Wet underwear. Cumulonimbus.
Oh, wow. Good job. Umbrella.
Tormentas.
Ah.
Mud puddles.
Fishing.
Ruined hairdo.
Okay, very good. And this will be our last improv exercise. We're going to switch over to kind of table topics, but we're just going to have one person start, and we're going to tell a little story about a rainy day. So each of us will say one sentence, and this will kind of allow us to work together. So one person will start us off, and we'll just go around the circle. Would you like to start us off, Justin?
It has been raining since.
Say it again.
It has been raining since this morning.
Okay. All right. Edia?
It was a dark and stormy day.
All right.
The eclipse happened.
Oh, we like the eclipse.
Good thing I have my jacket on.
All right.
I sleep late on rainy days.
I'm glad I didn't miss
Yes.
Where animals are walking 2 by 2.
Oh, wow. That's good. Yeah.
The giraffes are the only ones who can survive.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Except for Noah, who is looking after all the animals and making sure they're getting ready to go onto the ark.
Noah told me feeding the animals isn't a bad part. Bad part's cleaning up.
Especially after they had a big buffet for dinner.
On a night so dark and dreary, as I pondered weak and weary, I looked upon the aurora borealis and said, "This is very baroque."
Forevermore, forevermore.
All right, thank you. Good job. Great job. Work on our teamwork skills and just kind of telling the story and building on what your partner said. So now we're going to divide into table topics a little bit. Table topics helps us develop our spontaneous speaking as we need to maybe give a speech or something like that in front of a group. So last week we learned the Oreo method, which is when you want to give, talk to somebody about your opinion. You start with opinion, you give a reason, you give an example, and then finish it out with your opinion. So this week we're going to do a different method. We're going to start with a thesis and then give a point and a point. So I'm going to give us some topics to speak on. And just you can talk about whatever you want. Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
The science officer will be in.
Right, yeah.
By the way, I am fine as long as I am not sneezing.
Oh, I like your Star Trek. I just noticed that. Yeah, Star Trek.
Did you remember what I said last
Yeah, I did. I was looking at your
Engineers
bed. I didn't know Star Trek. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll check this night. Oh, I see the NCC 1701. Nice. I like it. So I'll start us off, each of us with topics. We're going to break into 2, start with the topics. And then I'm just going to time us a little bit. We'll have if you want to just speak between 1 minute to 2 minutes. And this is just going to help us with our speaking. So we'll each get a slip of paper and we're going to break into 2s. And you're just going to talk on whatever's on this slip of paper. These are all humorous quotes. So just speak whatever, talk to your partner about whatever you want. You don't have to know everything about this quote, but it's just to kind of get us used to speaking. Any questions or anything? Yes, question. Bob.
Do we take turns with?
Yes.
I talk about the quote and then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we'll take turns.
Same quote or different quotes? Everybody get their own quote?
Let's start with, actually, I think we have enough, we can do different quotes. Is that okay, everyone?
Okay.
Okay.
So it's thesis, point.
Thesis, point. So for instance, let's see, a thesis could be,
Can I give you a quote? You said there's a quote.
yes, please.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. This quote has inspired me to become a better person because little things can lead up to the big things. And I still struggle with this myself, so I think I'm kind of stuck for now. But y'all get the idea, right? Because I'm going to be working on this too. And you just talk about it. If you get stuck, just keep going, and I'll keep time so we can kind of prepare ourselves for table talk. Any other questions or suggestions? Yes. Thesis, point. Yes.
So if you, like, let's say you pair up with Bob, you're going to cut off, like only you are talking, and then you cut off? Is that like you time it?
Yes, I'm gonna time it, and then I'll raise my hand up, or does anyone have the timing cards? I can raise the timing card up when we get to 1 minute, and then when we get to 2 minutes, we'll just stop it, because table topics usually runs like a minute to 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Judy. So we'll do the, when we get to 1 minute, I'll do the green card, and then when we get to 2 minutes, yellow card for stop. Any other questions? Or?
And then the partner will get a different question.
We'll switch, yes. So why don't we go ahead, and Lincoln, would you mind just taking one and passing it around, and pair up in the twos, and we'll just go ahead. Once we get paired up, I'll start the time. I don't know if we have enough.
So John, you and me,
Yeah.
and Crystal's out. Or
Yeah,
maybe you can do Bob.
Bob when he comes back, and I always time.
We need you.
He left. He didn't get work. Yeah, he left. Is everyone all set? If you don't like your topic, just get another one. But you know, you don't.
Oh, this.
Don't worry. Just be. They are humorous quotes, so. They are humorous quotes. Gotta make it a little fun. Yeah, you get lots. I should make it more last time. Is everyone paired off? Okay. Okay, so I'll take Bob. Okay, so if we're ready, go ahead and start. Yeah. You're right. Oh, okay, sorry. We're all paired off? Okay.
Why don't you start?
My
quote is, never put off until tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, just as well.
I guess what it means to me is
As
you like the subject and you want
a young boy, Tom Sawyer, used to float down the Mississippi River on a raft. I enjoyed the trip down the raft because I learned a lot about rafting on the Mississippi River. It was paddle boats on the river, canoes, traveling from St. Louis all the way down to length of the river. It's about the exchange of
Thank you. I see the boat.
People have 45 seconds.
Traveling
similar to your topic, but now it's talking about love.
life
I mean, love, they say love is a thing, but I guess
Sure.
30
if you work
seconds.
hard, then you can indulge yourself in some chocolate. Yes, but chocolate doesn't really solve the problem of being heartbroken. But yeah, it's a temporary pleasure. So, are you in favor of vanilla chocolate?
Okay, time, 2 minutes. How did that go? Like, was that awful or?
Yeah.
Someone said yeah.
It was harder than we anticipated.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, that's okay. You can always switch to a different one if you like. Was it easier last week or? Last week's questions for those who were here. Okay.
Oh, no, I like this one.
You like that one? Okay, okay. Yeah, we can mix them up, different types of questions, so. Okay, so why don't we switch? If you want to get a new question, you can, or just whoever didn't speak, the other person speaks, and I'll go ahead and start. Okay. What are we doing?
Whenever I feel the need to exercise. Lay down my
You want another one?
It's very interesting because
He says,
Do you do the classical programming as the fish method, or do you use agile?
Humor is a genius, wonderful, good, without sometimes it's not. It's unreal, and full of surprises. I think the funniest story is it says here to the left.
Oh, okay.
Because
jumps from admiration
Yeah, when
to
I-
love.
Just comes
when
out naturally.
I
That's
talk
the
about
regions.
it,
I would
you know,
read
that's-
me. So they just come out.
And then after that,
Part of the conversation.
the one
It's
thing
not
wonder.
like they memorize the script.
It's not about going too fast.
It makes,
It's about going small creatures.
Gaining more. Okay,
It's a, it's not about going too fast.
I need to work on
You're the
it.
best.
and
I don't want to go to the other side.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Being impromptu, which is what I use.
What drink is it? Cybersecurity. Security systems. Sometimes embedded with the teams to ensure.
Okay, time, 2 minutes. Did everyone get a chance now to speak? Okay. Okay, so we'll do one more. If you want to, feel free to come and get a different little topic.
Development section.
What's
to
that?
Production.
Oh, do we give you 1 more minute? 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. We'll do one more for 1 minute. If you want to come get a different,
Do you want to get
please come get a different. Okay.
Company.
We've already heard it.
That's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right, so, okay. Can I do that? That's part of the society.
They're taking a lot of
So, I make my way and I make my leaves and making my way through is all right. I have to dodge my patch around family. It's always walking people. I'm not away, so one foot but somehow managed to make it out and I kind of
So you work out like the rest of the
and then lunch, I have to look, straight and married, get a piece of fruit, ways my but
Oh, okay.
they're being funny. Breakfast.
So are you developing applications?
Drive too hard. Mimic somebody else is funny. And what you're not is funny.
So are you using API backend connectors into databases?
I think
This is everything in the cloud?
if a man does his best, then together.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up here and start to get back to our seats.
Just has to like keep it. Yeah. If God allows him to be where he's at, go
Dang, 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 dang.
successful.
Okay, so how did that go? Was it like a little bit better after getting more practice, or was the one from last week, for those who were here last week, a little bit better, or what are any comments? Too hard, too easy?
I think it really depended upon
Okay.
the look of the draw.
Right, okay, okay. Anybody else, any comments?
We enjoyed it.
Y'all liked it? Okay.
Good choice of quotes.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yes.
It was a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to caution things.
Yeah, it does. Oh, and that's the point. I mean, it's not for us to get perfect answers, but just to practice our thinking and maybe have a little bit of fun with some ridiculous quotes.
Yeah.
So good.
Even
Great
if you
job.
are a perfectionist, it shows us what helped knock that out of you.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, I got you thinking. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We'll go back to our seats and we'll conclude our meeting. Thank you, Madam Okay.
All right, that was fun. I did actually enjoy that. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Something you
So-
learn after you've been here.
The next section of our meeting are the evaluations. Who's our general evaluator? He gets to lead off and call each person.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Great.
All right. So this is where we now look at how well the meeting went. The different parts, and I, as a general evaluator, will comment at the end about everything else that came before. First, our evaluation of the first speech will be done by Juan.
John, you spoke so long that you cut into my time, so now I get to sit down. I don't actually get to
It was
sit
by
down.
design. I can't handle the truth.
I can't actually sit down.
No, you can't.
No. Well, you can sit down and give your evaluation.
Since I'm sure I won't sit down and give my evaluation. So, John, your objectives were, and by the way, did you enjoy that Baroque speech? Very fancy, all movements and everything. So the objectives were to inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging the audience to achieve a higher level of beliefs or achievement. Appeal to the audience's needs and emotions using stories, anecdotes, and quotes to add drama. Avoid using notes, John. Did John use notes?
No.
So very good there, John. Was the speech topic relevant to the occasion selected? Absolutely, because this is his 10th speech. This is what was the competent communicator, and he spoke about what the benefits of Toastmasters.
And you know, you can deny me that. You can say, you know what, John, you didn't meet your objectives. Come back again and give another speech.
Like next meeting?
Or whenever.
He wants to come back so badly, right? So did the speaker understand and express the feelings and needs of the audience? He's been here. He's been where we are. He understands. Was the speaker forceful, confident, and positive? What do you think? He moved around. He didn't have nervous gestures. I didn't think so. Did the speaker effectively use stories, anecdotes, and or quotes to help convey his or her message? Absolutely, it's his story, his examples. Did the speaker's words convey strong, vivid mental images? This wasn't as strong, I thought, but you can't be perfect in everything, right? Did the speaker's use of body language enhance his or her message? Yes. They had very good body language. Did the speech uplift the audience and motivate them as the speaker intended? He motivated me. Did he motivate anyone else? Inspired. Okay, what could the speaker have done differently? A little bit of the time you had your hand in your pocket. And some people may say that he said a few times, you know, but actually there's an article in the September 2017 issue of the Toastmaster magazine that says if you don't do it too much, these filler words, it actually makes it more natural, more like a real conversation. So I do not
How many times has he?
Maybe 3 times. But the thing is, it sounded very authentic. So not as much filling it in a filler as making it natural. So do read the article. This is to encourage everybody to read the Toastmaster, and we have some magazines back there. And the last article in the magazine in the back is always one that's funny. So as a humor mill members, we do want to read that article. One thing I liked about the speech, there was no crack in his voice. He enjoyed himself. He joked a lot. And party ran. No nervous gesture. And I loved the thing about practice 10 speeches before giving it. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Did you sign?
I'm not quite done.
hand out for this.
You can just stand for 5 minutes. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, now, our grammarian gets to comment on our use of the proper Queen's English, or did we not? And those dreaded audible pauses.
So as grammarian and aha counter, Teresa, I really looked hard and I didn't observe any. So good job. John, you did have a couple so's, you did have a couple ahs, you did have a couple you knows, but I think as Hone indicated, it was kind of in conversation, so it didn't stand out. And again, I'm looking or listening for those. Something to just make you aware of is you did say now quite a few times, maybe like 5. And I think that was because a couple times you got a little off track interacting with the audience, and so you would say now to kind of reset. So I don't think that was bad. I just wanted to make you aware of that.
No, red underwear with pink hearts will do that.
It does. Crystal, you had a couple of ums. I have a couple of ums pretty much all the time. But with you, it's pretty natural. So see, like I just did. And I have a tendency to do that. At least I'm aware of the issue now. I'm still working on it. And Hone,
May I interject? If you give me $1 for each time you say I will do that with you.
oh, you would be a rich man.
I'll do it for a quarter.
Right here, 10 cents. Hone, you just had a couple, and it was like very conversational. So as per the article, I think it was natural and good. And Bob Wilson, as usual, didn't have any. So that's my report.
Not a very Baroque report. And now comes my comments and critiques.
Timer.
Go time.
Timer. Oh, you put my glasses on. Yes, Mr. Timer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best thing about being timer is you go after the grammarian. And I also get to keep track of my own time. So with that said, I have done exactly, except with the use of the example, I've given exactly 0 ahs, ums, or any other broken garbage. And also seeing on this timesheet, the timer's report exactly 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. My time is 90 seconds exactly. So go down the times. Teresa, opening, 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Then the meeting structure talking was exactly a minute. John, 3 days, 2 hours.
Score.
At the point you stopped, you said, this is the end of my speech.
That's when you stop.
At that time, I kept going. And when you said that, I looked down, it was 14 minutes, 30 seconds.
I'm getting better.
That very first speech was about 18 seconds. I'm kidding. But the total time, I stopped my clock, the total time was 20 minutes, 56. Transition to improv, Teresa, 2 minutes, 42. Crystal, the improv intro was 2:05. Improv total, after that was 15 minutes, 36 seconds. I'll just tell your name, I apologize. One. 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So I think you're right within the time. And grammarian, 1 minute and 48 seconds. And of course, as I've already alluded to, timer, 9.5. There you go.
Now comes. It's not going to be excoriation, okay? It won't be Baroque either. John, grammatical glitch. Try not to, in professional circles, use the word get or got. I did not get it. I mean, you can use it there. But as a rule, we say, I did not receive, I did not understand. For professional circles. It's a little hard. We need to adjust our speaking a little bit. You did get off track. You got back on. You got off track. You got back on. Today, at 7 minutes, he would have been required to stop. If he had gone to 8 minutes, Toastmaster starts getting a little nervous looking, and at 9 minutes, he's interrupted. We have some flexibility in our time today, but we're still over. That's part of it. In a competition, you have 7 minutes. At 7 minutes, 30 seconds, they will cut you off. Oh, too bad he didn't finish, or she. In which case, if you didn't finish, you're not going to get a good mark in that competition. Right hand in your pocket too much. Again, I said respect time. Listen to the video and you'll find your audible pauses. I stopped at 6 when you said, Madam Toastmaster. And it's Madam Toastmaster, not Toastmasters. Listen for it. We had a little freedom, a little flexibility, but the banter back and forth when somebody's talking, not professional. We got to get away with it today, a little open, but we're not supposed to do that, okay? Our one speech evaluation. At the very end, you can say something like, yeah, you agree with me, this was good, wasn't it? Or you saw what we, but not in the middle of it. Some places won't even let you get away with that. You're just to share what you see, and that's it. My time, well, I think I made it about 3 or 4 minutes. I want to keep it short. Fortunately, there wasn't a whole lot. Madam Toastmaster.
I like having experienced people. That's how we learn. So, let's see, closing remarks. First, we are unfortunately losing our Sergeant at Arms, who has to resign. And we need to find another Sergeant at Arms by the end of September. All right? So let's work on finding somebody. I see Bob Wilbur over there. Let's see if we can identify a new Sergeant at Arms in the next couple weeks. And wish Judy the best with her endeavors. Outside of that, I want to try and make sure we close within 1 minute. It's time. Do we have any other announcements that are pertinent and pending?
Would you people please sign up for rolls?
Okay, we need to make sure that we have rolls filled out for next week, next 2 weeks, 2 weeks from now.
No. I just want to remind everyone, if they haven't gotten food, to please help themselves to food.
Yeah, and that was the last thing. There's also fresh peaches and tomatoes and bags. Please take them home. All right? And that's everything for our very first open house. Thank you, everybody.